All right, so you've got your sights set on Germany. And why not? It's an amazing country. But you should know, building a life here is about way more than scenic castles and the Autobahn. It's a whole experience, one that's packed with its own unique set of rules, some serious challenges, and cultural quirks that can catch even the most prepared person off guard. Okay, let's just jump right in with a super common scenario. Picture this. You're at the checkout at an Aldi, you've got all your stuff on the belt, you're about to pay. But you could be on the verge of making a major cultural blunder, and you probably wouldn't even see it coming. Any guesses what it is? And the answer is forgetting this little plastic stick, the Warentrenner, or grocery divider. Now, in Germany, putting this thing down after your groceries isn't just a nice little suggestion. It's a fundamental signal of respect for the next person's space and their stuff. It's such a tiny object, but it really represents a huge cultural value, a deep, deep respect for order. And believe me, that little divider, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So let's get into some of the other unwritten everyday rules that can really trip you up when you're new, starting with something as simple as writing down the date. This one right here can cause total chaos for your schedule if you're not careful. See, in Germany, it's always day, then month, then year. It's actually pretty logical, right? Smallest unit of time to the largest. But if you get it mixed up, that important appointment you thought you had on March 4th? Yeah, you're going to be showing up a month late on April 3rd. Whoops. And it's the same thing with telling time. The 24-hour clock isn't just for the military here. It's the standard for basically everything. Train schedules, store hours, you name it. So if you see a meeting scheduled for 1600, that's not some kind of secret code. It's just 4 p.m. Getting used to these two things is absolutely key to, being on time. And the little details just keep coming. For example, never, ever wish someone a happy birthday before the actual day. It's considered seriously bad luck. Tipping is way more relaxed. You just round up the bill or add about 10%, not the 15 or 20% you might be used to. And probably the most important one, always, always start with the formal C for you until someone personally invites you to use the casual do. Okay, so you've started to get the hang of daily life. Now, it's time to level up. Welcome to the Great Paperwork Gauntlet, otherwise known as German bureaucracy. This is the one challenge every single expat has to face. And it all kicks off the second you find a place to live. That apartment isn't just a roof over your head. It's literally the starting line for your entire official life in Germany. That's why getting your housing sorted out is job number one. And this is why you have to do the Anmeldung, the official address registration. And you have to do it within 14 days of moving in. This means booking an appointment, wrestling with German language forms, and getting a super important confirmation letter from your landlord. This one piece of paper you get at the end, it's the master key that unlocks everything else. Your bank account, your phone contract, your tax ID, all of it. Now, once you do your Anmeldung and open a bank account, something called a Schufa rating is automatically generated for you. Just think of it as your German credit score. And having a good one is non-negotiable. You'll need it for almost every big step, from renting your next apartment to signing up for an internet contract. So, we've talked about the practical stuff, the paperwork, the appointments. But honestly, what about the biggest hurdle of all? Let's talk about the much more personal challenge of actually making friends and finding a sense of community. You can be standing in the middle of a massive, bustling city like Berlin, literally surrounded by millions of people, and feel completely and totally alone. For so many people who move here, cracking the social code is so much harder than cracking the bureaucratic one. This quote from an expat on Reddit just nails it perfectly. It's a really jarring feeling, going from a packed social life back home to a new reality where trying to make just one friend can feel like this exhausting, full-time job. So what gives? Why is it so tough? Well, a huge part of it is cultural. Friend groups in Germany are often formed way back in childhood or university, and they are built to last. These circles become incredibly tight-knit, which makes it hard for any newcomer. And that includes other Germans moving to a new city to find a way in. But it is not impossible. The trick is to lean into structured, shared activities. Joining a Verein, which is just a club for a sport or a hobby, is the classic German way to meet people. Or you could find a Stammtisch, which is basically a regular meetup for a shared interest. But the number one rule, be patient. German friendships are definitely a marathon, not a sprint. But once you form them, they tend to be incredibly loyal.
Okay, so we've been through the daily rules, the paperwork maze, and the social scene. But to really get the full picture, we needed to zoom out and look at the why behind it all, the logic or maybe the lack of logic that ties everything together, from those little grocery dividers to those tight-knit friendship circles.
So let's start with the idea, the theory. On paper, German bureaucracy is actually designed to be fair and efficient. It's a system built on rules that are meant to ensure everyone gets treated the exact same way. It's supposed to be democratic order in action. But the reality, what it actually feels like on the ground, can be something else entirely. Newcomers often use the word Kafkaesque to describe it. The endless waiting, the confusing rules, that constant feeling of being powerless. It's more than just annoying. It can be genuinely bad for your health. And the problem isn't that the system is evil, it's that it's just completely overwhelmed. You've got understaffed offices trying to deal with this massive, tangled web of regulations. All that creates huge bottlenecks and a deep sense of frustration and helplessness for the people it's supposed to be helping. Which kind of brings us full circle to the big question. This German love for rules, for structure, for order, it's the source of the country's greatest strengths, but also the source of the biggest headaches for expats. So what do you think? Is this highly structured society a challenge you just have to fight against to survive? Or is it a strength that maybe, once you finally understand it, you can learn to embrace?